The average adult human utilizes 2 billion ATP molecules per minute. This energy is used to fuel all of the functions in your body. The process that generates this constant supply of ATP is cellular respiration. This process generates 10 million ATP per second in each cell. If cellular respiration ceases, then our cells will quickly deplete their energy stores and stop functioning. And once again, if your cells stop functioning, you stop functioning. Cells need energy to do all of their work to keep you alive. Remember that autotrophs obtain glucose via photosynthesis, while heterotrophs consume other organisms to obtain that glucose. Glucose is then converted to the energy carrier molecule ATP in all organisms. Chemical energy is stored in the phosphate bonds of ATP, and energy is released when a bond is broken. Photosynthesis discussed in the last unit is related to cellular respiration discussed in this unit because the products from photosynthesis are utilized as reactants in cellular respiration. Take a look at the overall reaction for photosynthesis and remember that energy from the sun is utilized to convert carbon dioxide and water to glucose, and oxygen is produced during the process. During cellular respiration, glucose is broken down to produce the chemical energy of ATP along with heat energy, and oxygen is utilized as well. Carbon dioxide and water are produced as byproducts. The products from cellular respiration can then feed back into photosynthesis to be used as reactants again. Photosynthesis consumes carbon dioxide and produces oxygen, while cellular respiration consumes oxygen and produces carbon dioxide. Therefore, plants produce oxygen used by animals, and animals in turn produce carbon dioxide used by plants. Cellular respiration refers to the series of metabolic pathways that convert glucose to ATP. It includes three main stages that harvest potential energy from glucose in small steps, because if all of the energy was released from the chemical bonds in glucose at once, the high heat generated would actually start your cells on fire. The three main stages include glycolysis, the Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain. The details as to what occurs during these stages will be discussed as we progress through these unit lectures. The three main stages to cellular respiration include glycolysis, the Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain. Glycolysis takes place in the cytoplasm, or cytosol, while the next two stages take place within a mitochondrion. Remember that cells contain multiple mitochondria. Reactions are taking place simultaneously. Remember that all organisms need to produce ATP. This includes prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Glycolysis, which is the first stage of cellular respiration, occurs in the cytoplasm of all organisms. In prokaryotes, like bacteria, which lack specialized organelles like mitochondria, the Krebs cycle also takes place within the cytoplasm, while the electron transport chain takes place in the plasma membrane surrounding the outside of the cell. In eukaryotes, like humans, our cells have specialized organelles like mitochondria, where the Krebs cycle and electron transport chain takes place. Therefore, we should review the anatomy of mitochondria as follows. Mitochondria are surrounded by a smooth outer membrane and a folded inner membrane referred to as cristae. The electron transport chain is located within the cristae. The matrix is inside the inner membrane, and the Krebs cycle takes place here. The intermembrane compartment is between the outer and inner membranes. Inter as a prefix means in between, so this is the compartment in between the membranes, and this is also involved with the electron transport chain. Structure always leads to function, and as you can see here, different portions of cellular respiration take place within different structures in the mitochondria. In eukaryotes, the Krebs cycle and electron transport chain take place in mitochondria. In prokaryotes, the Krebs cycle takes place in the cytoplasm while the electron transport chain occurs in the plasma membrane. Notice the smooth outer and folded inner membrane and the intermembrane space in between these membranes. The matrix is inside the inner membrane.